And we are live.
Right.
Ultimate Strength Conversations.
Look at that. Mate, how about that for some
First hour.
technical difficulties?
First hour of technical difficulties, but look at us now, mate. We
know,
are
mate.
professional podcasters or YouTube goers.
This is as professional as it gets.
Yeah. How do these mics look? Are they all right? We're not getting covered, are we?
No,
Should be all right. You look like you're about to take off flight, mate.
mate, I am. I'm
pilot.
going to be the pilot.
Well, it's funny, you can hear yourself, innit? It's
It's
crazy.
very, very weird. Yeah, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Mate, it's good to be here. Good to be here. I'm actually the first English guy.
You are. I got chipped this morning by Tom Bellick saying that I haven't had any Englishmen on.
There's only one other, so.
Well, yeah, that's it.
You had to start with an Australian, though. You had to.
True. But you're much better than Tom Bellick, so that's why I got you in
True,
first.
better
mate.
haircut as well.
Absolutely.
To be fair, I had a fresh trim for today, so I was ready.
Nice. I didn't. That's why I got the hat on. Cool, man. What are we going
All
to
right.
talk about?
Talk about everything, mate.
Talk about
Live.
everything.
Yeah, anything that pops up.
Cool.
Just having fun.
Sweet. So, obviously, we've talked before about what the kind of goal is for the whole vibe of the show.
Yep.
First up, we're just going to get a little bit of information about you. And the whole thing is I want to be able to showcase people's personalities. I said to Robbie, everybody has a story.
Yep.
I don't think everybody's story is the most amazing, but it also gets you in terms of like, it's not going to be, we're not doing, motivational speaking shit, although you might,
I might pull something out the bag,
you
mate.
might, mate. But obviously everything that you've done and your story is what's led you to the point you are at now and
Yep.
doing the job that you're doing and all that sort of stuff. And so we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to get real deep with that, mate. So there'll probably be a tier or two.
Got tissues?
We don't have any tissues.
Just one playground
No.
top.
And then a little bit about your training. So, man, tell me a little bit about who Billy Thornhill is.
Perfect. So basically, obviously I'm not from Australia, so I started in the UK.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Oh, you didn't know that?
That's
The accent didn't
You'd probably
give it
be
away.
the first UK PT in Australia. Yeah?
I think I might be.
You might be.
It's the only reason I came.
Very original.
It is. You know what? Before I came, I was thinking, I got to be the only Englishman there. You must be like the only Australian there.
Yeah,
mate. There's
absolutely,
no
absolutely.
Australians. But anyway, what I was saying was,
Fit the stereotype.
exactly. So, started off. Well, my career kind of started off more in primary schools. So I started off
cool.
as a coach.
Yep.
My mum's a primary school teacher.
Cool. So is mine.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's,
all my family are school teachers.
Are they?
Yeah.
Just my mum. So she started off in like nursery nursing.
Okay.
With the little babies, and then trying to pass. She took a while to pass her maths because I struggle with maths as well. We're not
Yep.
the brightest in that sense. But my dad's actually real good because he's good at darts, so he's good at that.
Darts.
The math side, yeah, darts.
Yeah, right. I once got some of the worst DOMs in my elbow from playing
From
darts.
playing darts, darts elbow, mate.
Yeah.
Never had that before.
Mate, like, my dad and I, we had a dartboard in the shed, and it was just kind of like sitting in the back. And then one day we pulled it out, and on like a Sunday afternoon, we played darts for like an hour or whatever. And then
Mate, such a good game.
it's so much fun. And then a couple of days later, I was like, "Fuck me, my elbow
Elbows-
hurts." And I
elbows
said to
down here.
Dad, I was like, and then he came home and he's like, "Jesus Christ, my elbow hurts." I was like, "Oh, it's fucking darts."
Darts elbow, mate. No, I've had it before.
Haven't played since.
Mate, I love a bit of darts, but yeah. So anyway, she became a primary school teacher
Yep.
a long time ago, and I decided the school she's worked there 17, 18 years.
Yep.
And when I was in year 6, I was about 10 or 11. Remember, I used to go there. I used to love obviously helping out and stuff like that. And then I got to like year 10 when you get to like 15, 16, and I started to volunteer and go to like, rounders. Have you heard of rounders before?
Maybe.
It's kind of like a baseball game, but in the UK.
Okay.
It's probably one of my favourite PE sports ever. It's like a smaller bat, smaller ball. You run
Yeah,
around
okay.
the posts.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, started off doing that, volunteering, and then there was a company at the school called Fit for Sport.
Okay, cool.
And they're like contractors, so they come in and then they do all the after school, lunchtime, breakfast club,
Yep.
PE sometimes. And I decided I'll go for an interview and then see if I can get in. Got an apprenticeship there. I was
Cool.
there for a year, passed the apprenticeship, and then slowly worked my way up in the industry, doing lots of like holiday clubs.
Yep.
Lunchtime, breakfast clubs, after school clubs, just teaching kids, just how to move. So very similar to the kind of style we're in now, but obviously younger children.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I worked my way up to a site manager where I was kind of in charge of the whole site, planning the days, planning staff rotas, that kind of vibe. And then I was doing that for 5 years. So I was there for quite a long time, from 17 to, I'm not good at maths, so whatever age that is, like I said, not good. 21, 20, something like that. There you go. And during that time, I then done my PT qualification, level 3, as it's called in the UK, level 2, level 3. Which is level 2 is fitness instructing, where you can like teach classes or show someone around the gym, you know, show them the equipment and do like a health assessment kind of vibe. And then level 3 is like the personal trainer.
It's weird that why didn't you start at level 1 and then do level 2?
I don't actually know what level 1 is.
Well, in Australia, there's only a Cert 3 and Cert 4.
Yeah, where's level 2?
Or 1. Like.
Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway,
maybe they were bad at maths as well.
It must have been. They just skipped a few numbers. They're obviously level 1 sounds bad. So
maybe they were like,
2.
well, the top of the UK PT is level 3, so we'll start at level 3.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like when I come and do some job, when I was doing job interviews here, I was thinking, everyone's like, oh, you need a Cert 4. I'm like, oh, I'm Cert 3. Oh, I'm not going to get it. Well, I've got level 4 strength and conditioning. If that's what you call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got that. What do they call that here? Strength and conditioning? It's called something else, isn't it?
We don't really have strength and conditioning thing. There's like independent certification. So I've got a couple with the Australian Strength and Conditioning Association, ASCA.
Oh yeah.
There's a level 1. That's kind of like the top one here, but it goes to like a level 4 or level 5, I think. Yeah. And then I just have one PICP. It was the Poliquin International Certification Program or something like that. Okay. But we don't have like a ASCA would be the one, I guess. Yeah. But
mine was just done with Strength and Conditioning Education, it's called.
Yeah.
I've done that on the side though.
Yeah.
It's like a do at your own pace kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, where was I? I was working in the schools. So I was doing that for a long time. And during that time, obviously, you're 18, 19, 20, I started going to the gym, really started to enjoy it. And obviously, because I was already kind of coaching in a sense of children in PE and school, I was like, why don't I try adults? So I passed my course. It was a year course, but you went in and done the practicals towards the end. You would do 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
And then from that, I passed. I decided to join a leisure centre called David Lloyd, or a health club as they call it. It's not so much it's more of like a bougie leisure centre. They got the spas and the pools, that kind of thing. So I went there first, part time. I was actually, I get a lot of thing where I get imposter syndrome. Where I think, I can't do that straight away. I'm not good enough. And I've probably had it since, I don't know, forever. And I've probably still got it now as well sometimes. But I don't go straight to PT. I'm like, I can't do it yet. I need to work my way up and get to know people. So I got there first part time as a DL Kids. So which is their type of kids area where their parents, they go to the classes and they drop the kids off for an hour. So I was doing that. Started off there part time, Fit for Sport part time. Ended up on my second day actually getting asked by the family manager who's in charge of the kids area to be her second in charge. She was like, "You got loads of experience. You're really good. I want you to come and help me more." Ended up joining there full time. Quit my job, David Lloyd full time. I then started doing classes there. So I started doing a lot of group classes. David Lloyd have got their own kind of special things called they call it Battle Box, like an outdoor class. Blaze, which is like a hit circuit with 3 different stations. And then my manager left, and ended up applying for that role and going a completely different role and not even doing any PT for the first 2 years I was there. Ended up getting the job as the manager, so I was in charge of the swimming, the kids, duty manager role, so opening, closing the club. And I was like 23 at the time, so it was quite a big thing. And it was the club was like £4 million when it first opened, and it was a freshly opened club, so we were like first group in.
That's sick.
It was really good. It was proper good experience, amazing experience, having to handle like the money, the whole club, like being in charge of all that. And then ended up COVID hit.
Right, okay.
So it got to this stage, 2020, I think, around that time, 2021, 2020. And obviously we were off for a long time. David Lloyd completely changed the whole structure. They got rid of roles. They changed people around, obviously, to save money. They got rid of my role, and they made like a smaller role called like the coordinator. So I was a little bit under. So I was basically going back to what I was before. Then they got rid of the I don't know what they called it at the time. It was like the fitness manager who was in charge of the PT team.
Yeah.
Obviously the rotor and the gym and all of that. And they ended up scrapping that role as well and get rid of the guy. And they actually made it a fitness supervisor role.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I decided to apply for that and then just be in PT as well. Ended up getting that. So I was in charge of the PT team for a little while, only for a few months. And then we reopened. COVID then came back, closed it all. I was PTing here and there. Then it all reopened again. So PTing for a while.
So while you were doing the managing role before that, were you still doing PT at that time as well?
No, I hadn't started PT. I was just doing classes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I was doing like stupid shifts. I was sometimes waking up at 5:15. No, waking up to get there for 5:15 to then sort the money out, open everything up, turn the saunas on, whatever, make sure everyone's in, and then open the club for 6.
Yeah.
Then I would finish at like 2, train.
Yeah.
Then I would do a class at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I was doing that for a few 3 years, and I wasn't even getting. I remember wearing like a Fitbit back in the day, you know, checking your sleep, and I remember getting like 4.5 hours average sleep, mate, and I was not even thinking about it, just going training.
Yeah.
And obviously you get to like the age of 25 and it starts to hit you.
It starts
like,
I was the same when I worked here. I used to have like 6 coffees a day, and I'd be there from like before 6 a.m. and then leave at like 8, and then wonder why it felt like shit most of the time.
Mate, it's just crazy how your body like changes when you hit a certain age.
Yeah,
it's different for everyone.
Yeah,
but as soon as I definitely feel like when I hit that, I was like, all right, I need to start getting my sleep in.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is like you can get away with it, but you're doing damage to yourself at that point.
Long term.
Yeah, which is, well, you can't do anything about that now, but I think people go through their life and like, oh, well, I can just function on no sleep. And like, well, you might be able to function somewhat, but you're doing damage.
100%.
So you then went for that role, and then you started doing some PT. Then. Yep.
So I was doing PT there, built up to like, I think I got about 10 clients in a few months, which was quite good. Luckily enough, I knew the sales team and stuff because I worked there as a manager. So I ended up getting a lot of leads in. So as soon as I started, they were like, oh, Bill, you want this lead? You want this lead? I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing that and then doing the supervising at the same time. But then at the same, so just before I started that supervisor role of the gym, I was still managing a little bit and PTing a little bit. Just because of COVID, I lost a bit of time, so I could, as in the manager role, so I could do a little bit more. Doing that for a bit, and then just before the gyms reopened again, because we closed like 3 times, it was an absolute mess. It was like April the 22nd or something like that, and I remember I'd already found a private studio I was going to quit. I've already found a private studio. I'm going to start there straight away. Had one client. So I ended up. Actually, let me jump back a little bit. I remember this bit now.
Yeah.
I was PTing in my garage.
Yeah. Okay.
At home.
In lockdown.
Yeah. So I had a garage. I ended up luckily in this. It was a 3rd lockdown. I remember because I remember you make videos. Volume 1 lockdown. Volume 2 lockdown. It was Volume 3 lockdown. Yeah. And I had
I did see some of your lockdown content there.
Mate, every day, mate. Every day I was filming in my garage. Luckily, I got a garage like literally next door to my house.
Yeah.
And I was obviously, people saw it and they wanted some PT.
Yeah. What equipment did you have?
I had a Black Box. Have you heard of it? It's like an Irish brand from Belfast. They just make, they're very similar to like, they're not Wolverson. Have you heard of Wolverson?
No.
Oh, that must be a UK brand as well. But anyway, they make like the rigs.
Yeah.
And they make the barbells, they make the plates, they make everything. So they're just like a massive company that make all the equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had a movable squat rack.
Yeah.
Like just the 2 bars and then a 20 kg.
Mate, they were like gold at that time.
So sick, mate. It was so good. I got it on like a deal as well.
Yeah.
Pardon me. And then I had some kettlebells.
Yeah.
Like 8 kg, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I had some resistance bands. I had some rubbish flooring.
Yeah.
And I had, every time it was lockdown, I stole some weights from the gym. So I had 22.5. That's what you need. 20s and a 15s. And maybe a 10s as well. I think I stole loads, mate. The amount of times I took them in and out of my car was a joke around that time.
Did you give them back? No.
Not all of them.
That wasn't at one playground, so that doesn't matter.
That wasn't at one playground. Not all of them I didn't give them back. But I needed them, mate. And I sold them off as well for money. Yeah. Sounds a bit cheeky.
Entrepreneur, mate.
That's what it's all about, mate. But anyway, so I had that, ended up. So this is how it come to me quitting. So I ended up PT in there and promoting it a little bit on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I got a message from work saying, you can't do that. And I live about half hour away, right?
Yeah.
And this is during lockdown when we're allowed to see one person.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I was earning a right as well.
Yeah.
Like during lockdown, obviously. And I
Yeah,
was like,
mate, it was a good time. The second one was a good time for PT. It was horrible, but
Yeah.
there was some money to be made.
100%. And I was like, you know what? I can do this, I reckon.
Yeah.
So I was like, as soon as the gym opened again for the last time, and then from then, obviously, you could have closed again, but it never did, luckily.
Yeah.
I handed in my notice. I was like, I'm going to leave on the day it opens because
Yeah.
we were still open, but just the tennis courts were open. So you could just walk through the gym and go tennis. So we're doing that. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave. So I left and, ended up joining. You've probably seen it on my socials. I was there during Christmas as well, called Revival.
Yeah.
PT Studio. Unreal place, mate. Owners are so sick.
Yeah.
Ended up, joining there. And, man, I was there for about two years. I started off with clients in my garage.
Mhm.
I was still going there and Revival. I did join a gym for about a week and I quit that place. I was like, I ain't staying there. Some other dodgy gym.
Yeah.
And ended up just building up clients there, building up friendships. It was a sick place. And then was there for about 2 years. Had a Kiwi girlfriend. We ended up going to New Zealand for a trip.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, this place is unreal. Got back to UK. I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Got my visa for Australia. Came
Yep.
here. First moved to Brisbane. Joined a place called Total Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal gym, man. Crazy gym. Got me kind of settled into the place. Ended up moving to Sydney and then joined One Playground.
Yeah. And how long were you in Brisbane for? You weren't there for a long time.
6 months.
Yeah.
And I was working for 4 months. So 2 months didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then, settling in, getting myself sorted.
Yeah.
And then, was there for about 4 months at Total Fusion. I was riding my bike there every day.
Yeah.
I got a bike off Facebook Market for like $150.
That's how you got your quads, yeah. Just riding the bike.
That's literally
cycling.
just last year.
Yeah.
And mate, but you know what? Yeah, I thought I was going to lose my quads. I was doing 10k
From riding?
Yeah, I was doing 10k there, 10k back, and then I remember Chris Hoy. You know Chris Hoy,
No.
the UK cyclist, mate. Unbelievable quads. I'll have to show you
Yeah.
a picture of him.
Yeah.
Biggest quads you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
He's like 7-time gold medalist in the velodrome.
Is he bigger than are they bigger than that German fella? Robert Foster, no, I can't pronounce his name.
Is this the guy that does sprints on the bike?
Yeah.
Really fast? No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. That guy's crazy.
That's stupid, but yeah.
But similar to that.
Yeah.
But and then so I was doing 10k there,
Yeah.
10k home. Mate, rinsing me off. Couldn't really train that much.
Yeah, I bet.
Luckily, we moved a little bit closer to the gym I was working, and it was just 5k there and back, so it wasn't too bad. And then, man, I was there 4 months, left, and then came to One Playground, man.
Yeah, and how long you been here now? And is it?
It's been 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you finding Sydney?
Sydney's awesome, mate. It took me a while to settle in, just because, it's a new environment.
Not enough British people here.
Not enough British people.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, it's one of those places where everyone's got their own kind of posse already.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's the most sociable, unsociable place I think ever.
Yeah, for sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So everyone's got their own kind of crowd already, and if you kind of come in new, unless you're going to like a hostel or something like that,
Yeah.
and you want to kind of make friends outside of work and that kind of thing, it can be difficult, but it's a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
100%.
It is pretty cool. It's obviously ridiculously expensive, but it's funny when I guess people complain about it being expensive, but we have the privilege to live in one of the most privileged cities in the world.
Oh, exactly.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that are less privileged living here that it is hard for, but like when, some of our clients will complain about it, it's like,
Yeah, mate.
but it's like we're the lucky country. That's why they call it the lucky country. Cool, man. One thing that I didn't know any of that about you, so that's pretty cool.
Your story. But
Yeah.
saying about being expensive here, I in the UK I live with my parents, right?
Yeah.
I can't afford to move out, but I can live here, so it's not as expensive
It's
as
not
in
as
France.
yeah, right.
If you can get yourself a couple pounds and
Yeah.
you can move in, as in an apartment, doesn't have to be the best thing in the world.
yeah,
So you can do it.
Yeah.
I'd say
Oh,
100%.
and
Get
that's
yourself a good job,
that's the thing. It is it is a good place to live for that. It's one of those things. It's we are pretty lucky here, like all the beaches, and like it's not that hard to get out of Sydney and get to Blue Mountains or wherever it is like that, which is pretty cool.
And everywhere's just unreal as well. You just you look and you're like, wow, man.
Yeah.
Look at this place.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
On it being expensive, when I moved here, it's nearly, this year it will be 7 years ago. I was renting with my sister at the time, and we were paying neither of us had a job, and we were paying $6.15 or something like that a week for a 2-bed apartment, and it was pretty new. And at the time, I hadn't started working at one playground yet, or fitness playground then. And we're like, oh shit, this is expensive.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a couple of years, I'm paying that by myself in a 1-bedroom. I was like, it's gotten expensive.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
But it's all relative. It's like you can still do that. Just it is relative to where you're at, and we do get to live here. We can live anywhere we want
it's
to.
your choice, right?
It is like a bit of a double-edged sword because it's easier to do what we do in a busier city. How was that doing PT in Brisbane compared to Sydney?
Brisbane, I was quite lucky in a sense of the gym was very similar to one playground in terms of the setup.
Yeah.
So you kind of had the help from the kind of fitness manager or the manager and the reception and stuff who would kind of get your leads in. But at the end of the day, it's still all about, you still had to sell. It wasn't like one playground where you get it sold. Sometimes you get it sold for you, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't you still had to sell your personality and your kind of, and what you're about. Because most of the time you could be the best PT in the world, but you're not going to get any sales if you ain't got no personality. And if you're not likable on that first consultation, you're not going to get anyone.
Yeah.
So you still had to do that in a sense and still train in the gym the way you want to train.
Yeah.
And that's how, as well, it was a good way to pick up people.
Yeah.
Because I had some people, I would just be training and then I would leave and then the reception would be like, they see you in the gym, they want to train with you or they want a session with you. I'm like, oh, sweet. It's a cool way to get clients. And then word of mouth as well is another great way, especially when you're in a new environment and you don't know anyone. Yeah,
absolutely. That was one thing that I struggled with when I moved here, like the sales side of it, because I was a PT in my hometown, but it was a town of like 4,000 or 5,000 people, not even 5,000. So a lot of word of mouth, but I didn't have to do the like salesy thing. So it'd be just like people would come and then they would sign up and train and whatnot. And it was mostly group stuff as well too, but I struggled big time. I'd probably have one of the lowest conversion rates of that would
in one playground.
Yeah.
Wow, you wouldn't think it now, would you?
No. And the thing that was frustrating for me, because like you said, you could be the best trainer in the world. No, by no means do I think I was anywhere near the best trainer in the world, but I think I had.
Now you do.
Yeah, now I do. That's, mate, you're on my no.
Yeah,
but I had 4 PTs as clients, but I couldn't sell a lead.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it comes with experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. It's one of those things that I've got better. I've had to put a lot of effort into it, because I think like for a lot of people that get into fitness and PT, they don't necessarily get into it because they want to be a salesman or a salesperson. Yeah. But if you don't make sales, you don't have a business. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's the part of it that's probably not the most tedious, but probably the hardest part.
Yeah, and most trainers struggle a good bit with it. Some people it comes natural too, but it's a funny one.
I've definitely struggled with it though, 100% in the past, especially with the price point.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like the same going back to that. It's the same as going back to that imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Of am I worth $60 an hour? Am I worth $100 an hour?
Yeah.
But then you got to think, yeah, I am. Like you got to be confident and a little bit not cocky, but you know.
Yeah, and it pays off. But like, it's one of those things. Is I think as PTs, I don't. Have you ever had like a coach, or you've always just trained yourself?
I've had an online coach for about 3 months, and that was it.
That's the screen, yeah, mate. There we are.
I've had an online coach for about 3 months, and that's it.
Yeah, so
never had a one-to-one. No.
It's one of those things, I guess, because you would be pretty, obviously, intrinsically motivated. So you'll train. It's a part of you. You train like that. For you to not train is not being yourself, and I'm very much like that in that getting up and exercising is not a hard thing for us to do, but we are, a very small percentage of the population that will actually do that. So there's one thing with like, obviously people aren't like us that when it comes to training. So that's obviously the reason why we have a job. Yeah. But it's really easy to forget that because it comes somewhat easy to us, even though that we've had to work hard for what we've got. It's a funny thing.
100%.
So, man, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is your training. You have a pretty... Is that the door?
I think so. Hello? Was it the door? I think someone knocked.
Did they?
Maybe it was There's a different door.
Maybe they've gone around. Yeah. So
Replay.
one of the things I wanted to chat to you about or talk to you about is your training. So you do a lot of different things with your training.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, what are you training for?
Life, man.
Yeah.
Life. You know what? I personally like to be a jack of all trades, or what's the saying? Master of none, or something. What's the I can't remember the saying.
Master of none. Yeah.
Master
Jack
of
of all trades.
Jack of all trades,
We'll
master of none.
edit that out.
Yeah,
we won't.
I want to be jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. Yep. Fair.
So basically, I don't know, man. I also like to watch, when I watch videos, YouTube, Instagram, and there's like a challenge on there. I want to be able to do it to a certain level, not to be a master of it,
Yeah.
but to be at a certain level where I can compete at it, or even if someone gives me a challenge, I can at least try.
Yeah.
And not be, I don't want to do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I want to at least be able to try and do it.
Yeah.
And just as well, I want to move well. I want to get to a stage in life where I can still be trained. I want to get to like 40, 50, 60, and I can still move.
Yeah.
And not be uncomfortable going up the stairs or running for a bus if I need to, for example. But yeah, man, I love moving. I love training. I love trying new things.
Yep.
And I want to be able to be, obviously as a PT, you want to be kind of rooted to one thing where you're going to get those clients for, but I like to showcase myself in terms of being able to do different things. Like, I can help you get a better squat. I can help you lose a bit of weight. I can help you get stronger, that kind of vibe. And yeah, my training is a little bit all over the place sometimes, but I still try and keep to a structure in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, and a lot of the people I follow and kind of look up to on Instagram is kind of, I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to be like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just to be an all-rounder, really.
Yeah, because it is really, really cool to see, because it's like because you do so many things. Obviously, from what I can see, is that you really enjoy your training.
Yeah.
And you like everything that you do when you do train, for the most part, like you attack it and you go decent, like pretty hard at it. Obviously, you would have days like everybody does where you're just not feeling it.
100%.
But no, it's a really, really cool thing to see. And that's why I want to get people on here and talk about that, because you can tell that you like it, you train hard, you do a lot of different interesting things, and you try new things, and just to get your take on it. So like, what about training, the training that you do excites you? What gets you excited with training?
In terms of training for me, it's very much now like a hobby, or it's part of my life.
Yeah.
If I didn't train, I don't know where I don't know, man. I'd probably be crazy.
Yeah.
Going crazy somewhere, probably be like one
I
of
think
these people.
most of us would be. Yeah.
You know what? I, like you said, it's just that small percentage of us. People can go on a holiday for 2 weeks and not train. I don't know how people go on a week without training.
No.
That's just me. I don't have anything against people who don't train.
Yeah.
But if you that's what we're here for as well. We're here to get as many people as we can in the gym, healthy, fit, living as long as they can.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I didn't have it, I don't know where I'd be. It'd be crazy, man. It's I have one day off. I know for a fact that I need to have a day off here and there. And even if I have that day off and my body is feeling wrecked, I feel terrible.
Yeah, right. So do you train? You'll do something most like every day?
Yeah, I'll probably have one day off.
Yeah.
Where I don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
And these days there's a lot of active recovery, right?
Yeah.
And I used to do that. Be like, oh yeah, cool. I'll jump on a C2 bike and I'll do 60 minutes of just cycling, active recovery.
Yeah.
But then I've seen videos where it's like, it's not a real thing. It's just
No.
it's just for social media.
It's actually almost against what recovery is in itself.
Do nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But also being active, like what you said, is you want to be able to do things. And yes, rest is obviously really, really important. But a big thing with that is just not stopping.
Oh yeah.
Like you can be active every day.
Yeah.
You can't probably train at your absolute maximum every day, but you can be active every day.
100%.
So what would a training week look like for you?
Training week for me, currently it is mostly full body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm following a program at the moment, March On.
Yep.
Which I do sporadically in terms of they've got about 6 programs, and I'll mix and match.
And you will look like Ollie soon,
hopefully,
or better.
I'll better fucking stick some things. And so I do that a bit sporadically. So I'll probably go through maybe 2 of their programs in a day, as in I'll mix and match it.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the same time, I'll start with my own stuff,
Yep.
depending on what I've seen in the week, maybe.
Yep.
So I might have seen someone do something crazy. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start with that. I'm going to try out some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was doing, you saw me doing it with the 2 benches. I was doing the adductor,
Yep.
abductor raises. Yep.
Yep.
Abductor raises. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adductor, abductor.
That's a hard one.
The craziest thing. Abductor. So I was doing them.
Movement and anatomy is the worst. I'm dyslexic. I have a real hard time.
Even those 2 things, I get confused all the time, mate.
Yeah.
Abductor and adductor. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Just like your bum, side of your bum, and the inside of your leg.
In
mate.
or out. I've heard people say it as adductor or
Yeah.
abductor.
Yeah. Abductor. That's the one I'm on about.
Yeah, abductor.
But anyway, so
Start of the hip.
Yeah. So I was doing them because I saw them in a video.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to try it, mate. I've never been so sore in my life the next day. And I had football yesterday as well, and my glutes, oh my days, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was probably one of the best. That was probably one of the best exercises in terms of feeling wise I've done in a while.
Yeah.
And just doing that kind of stuff with, I've gone on a tangent here, but
Mate, this is what it's for.
yeah, all the time of stuff, doing like the spine work and
Yep.
the lateral flexion and the extension and all that kind of stuff. Like even when I was doing those Zercher stiff leg deadlifts, mate,
Yep.
unbelievable. It's just
Well, those things in terms of like moving the spine, you talk about longevity and being able to do it. They're the ones that, you know, like particularly spine is because most people are scared to move it.
yeah, mate.
I definitely used to be as well too, but it's like, well, when you get into being able to do it at a low level load and then a little bit more, you can get up to doing a Jefferson curl with, you know, some big weight or, you know, side bends with 30, 40 kilos or whatever it might be.
100%.
Those ones are probably more beneficial from a longevity standpoint than like a big back squat or whatever.
Oh yeah, for real. And you just see like it's come over time as well of just watching different people on Instagram and actually getting knowledge of different realms.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've always thought, oh yeah, you can never have a non-neutral spine. You have to be neutral.
Yeah.
And you start seeing all these other things. You start learning, start testing yourself, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, man. Why can't I bend my spine fully all the way to the ground? Why can't I bend it to the side all the way?
There's segments there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's built for that.
Exactly. And then you start seeing things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you're like, oh, they're always kind of got that flexion in, and you're like, why? Fair play, they got to do that stuff, you know.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
why the Zercher stuff is pretty cool as well, because you're kind of always in that flex position, and you're loading it up.
Yeah.
And they're fun as well to do. So they're not. It's out of the blue. It's different.
Yeah.
It's not just a normal front squat, back squat. You're
Yeah.
doing a Zercher deadlift or a Zercher carry or something
Yeah.
like that. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun, man. Love it.
For sure. And that's the coolest thing is and it definitely comes across in like the training that you do and obviously the content that you post. You can see that you're really into it.
Yeah.
Which is cool because then you're going to do that for a longer period of time.
100%.
And it's really, really cool because it's not like you're doing all this stuff. You're playing football. I saw you running the other day, but then
Oh, you saw me walking.
yeah.
I was active recovering.
I saw on Instagram that you then had said that you ran,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he really doesn't run, guys. He just walks.
I walk and I pause every now and then so it doesn't seem so slow.
Yeah.
A little jog every now and then.
But then also it's not like you're not strong as well too. Like you did what 185 on this back squat
180, but Rob scared me to do 185.
that's right, yeah.
So I could have got it, I reckon.
when he faked the injury.
Just as he was like, oh, I can't do 180.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do 185. I'll just fail this. That's it. Like.
You did rest for about 15 minutes.
Mate, I
after.
was shitting my pants, mate. I was like, fuck, I can't be snapping nothing today.
Did I go?
You went before.
He went before me, and then I missed.
Yeah, and then he done it, and then I was like, yeah, I ain't going.
Yeah,
I ain't
but
doing
you did attempt it after.
No, sorry, I done 180. He
Yeah.
attempted 180.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and then I was like, I can't go again.
Yeah.
I did try 185.
Yeah.
But
You
compared to 180 to 185, it shouldn't have been much difference because 180 flew.
Yes.
And then I was like,
You got faster as they went on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just getting more scared. But I've done 180 before.
Yeah.
I've done it in Vivo barefoots as well.
Yeah, right.
Crazy. It was a long time ago.
Just truly ready for everything, mate. But that's the thing. Like that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well. Because you do a lot of jumps in your training.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing. And from what I could see, when you were doing that, do you think that your jumping training has any effect on that or
Squats?
on the squat? Yeah.
100%, mate. I started doing it when I had an online coach, Chris Speed.
Yep.
So I started with Chris in Ronin Strength in January last year. For about 3 months I was doing it.
Yep.
And there was plyos in there. That's where I got first introduced to them.
Yeah.
And you must follow him. Surry?
Yes, I've seen him. Yeah, yeah.
Bro, he does all these crazy jumps,
Yeah.
crazy lifts and that stuff. So that's where
Good
I've kind of,
weightlifter as well.
mate, I'm unreal weightlifter. And that's where I've kind of got the inspiration from. And
Yeah.
I've kind of taken some of his stuff. And Matt McInnes Watson, he's the plyo guy.
Right. Okay.
And I was following his program for a while as well. And he just does all plyos, and he's mostly plyos.
Yeah.
And just from doing a lot of deep tier stuff, so kind of sitting in the squat and then jumping, but not to full extension, kind of keeping in that squat position.
Yeah.
I've noticed from adding them in maybe 6 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe not even that, and doing like some split stance, like low deep stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, I just feel, as you see in the squat, just so much more
Yeah.
explosive.
Yeah.
And especially because I've got shorter limbs as well, and I can sit in the squat pretty easy, even before I was training.
Yeah.
It's helped me get a lot more like elasticated in that position, a
Yeah.
lot more, the tendons a lot more stronger, and just a lot more explosive.
Yeah.
So people that are shorter or even taller, just to get that kind of explosive in that, because no one ever sits in that bottom position for a long amount of time.
No.
So
Very few people.
Yeah,
Unless you got short legs like you and I.
Exactly. And I just sit in that position anyway, like the squat.
Yeah.
I just sit in there to chill.
Yeah.
But people who have got those longer limbs, who never sit in that squat position, who struggle to get depth,
Yeah.
I always recommend to sit in that position for as long as they can.
Yeah.
Get up to a minute.
Yeah.
Start adding some plyos in there.
Yeah.
In that deep position, and you'll feel a lot more explosive out of the hole.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure. Yeah, definitely. Like that's one of the things that, particularly in our society, just goes missing because people sit in chairs like this. Why would I want to sit in that position?
Exactly.
And then they can't. And it's not even to do with an age thing, mate. I've trained, I used to train some junior rugby players and stuff like that, like 14, 15, 16 years old. And back at my gym at my hometown. And then I would also train some like middle-aged women that like would work with my mum and stuff like that. So like, probably mum doesn't want me to say how old she is, but I actually don't know how old my mum is.
Oh,
She
good son, good son.
Yeah, no, because she'll be like, she won't say her actual age. She'll say like 10 years younger. So, but like she's like, oh no, I'm still like 40.
She's like that guy, right? This is going off quick. There was a fella who won like the best player, and it must have been like some league somewhere in the world, soccer.
Yeah.
And he won the best player under 16s, yeah. And it turned out he was 28 or something. I was like, what the? He was like some weird country. I was like, crazy. But anyway, she's not that bad.
That's exceptional.
Yeah, he won like best under 16 or under 18 or something. He was like 26. And he got like kicked out. Crazy. Imagine that.
Oh, because I've always thought that when I with like playing rugby and stuff like that, I'd be like, imagine like when you get to like 20 or whatever, and you like you get to like be probably close to what you're like. Obviously, some people go on to be a lot better, but like what your peak would be for a sport when you actually can play sport as a kid, like and whatnot. And it'd be cool to like go down and be like, so
smash him. Just smash the 7-year-olds.
This guy did. What a legend.
He did. Oh, that guy did, yeah.
Yeah. No, not me. No, yeah. What a legend.
Yeah, went to go play with the younger guys and won best player of the year. Crazy.
Great. We were talking about the squat. So oftentimes, like everybody that mobility is such a classic one of like, oh, I'm old, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But it's not even an age thing, hey, mate. Like I've seen, like what I was saying is I've seen kids that are 14, 15 years old that can't sit in a squat.
Yeah.
Like how can you not sit in a squat? And you're playing rugby or a sport or whatever. Like if you can't get into a position like that, obviously you might not end up in that position all the time, but when you do, you're going to get hurt. And that's the good thing, or you're more likely to get hurt. The good thing about like those deep position plyos and stuff like that, you're getting into that position and you're bouncing around, like a little bit more of a ballistic movement, which is what it would be like if you got forced into that position.
No, 100%, yeah, I agree. Especially same for like soccer, football.
Yeah.
Like rugby as well, yeah. If you're getting tackled and you're down in that deep, low position, you're going to, if you don't do that kind of stuff, you're going to eventually, if you're young, cool, you're more resilient, right? But I feel like for me, touch wood, I never had a bad injury at football.
Yeah.
Maybe an ankle or something, but with those pliers and stuff, I definitely feel a lot more resilient.
Yeah.
In terms of even going into a tackle and stuff, getting older as well, you want to be able to play at a highest level as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And but yeah, even from a young age to start, it's just going to bulletproof for the rest of your, for as long as you can.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like the more you do it, the longer you do it, the longer you're going to be able to do it. You'll lose it as soon as you stop doing it. So if there's no reason to stop, why should you stop?
No, 100%. I agree.
Okay. What else are we going to talk about, mate?
What's next, mate?
What's next? What keeps you motivated with your training?
Just the love for training,
Yeah.
I think, and just the mental clarity of it.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, if I didn't do it, I'd probably go mental.
Yeah.
So that's probably what keeps me motivated, and just having it as a habit.
Yeah.
It's definitely just a habit in my daily life now. Just like looking at my phone when I wake up, bad habit, but you know, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bad habit because I get upset if I don't train. I get
Yeah.
a bit grumpy. It's like not eating.
Yeah.
So there are positives and negatives of it. You're like, it's an addiction
Yeah.
to me anyway.
Yeah.
Probably to you as well.
Yeah.
Training
I'm definitely like that.
It's like a drug, mate. It's
Yeah.
like if I don't, as soon as I might be in the worst mood ever and I don't want to train, but as soon as I train, mate, it's like top of the world, mate. It's crazy. But yeah, that and just enjoyment of training and just showing. You know what? Yeah, it's a bit big headed, but I like it when people watch what I'm doing in the gym.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, look, they want to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a good way to pick up clients as well.
Absolutely. But mostly just boost your ego.
Yeah, and people check out my big bum.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was one of the questions, mate. What do we got with the questions here? Glute training advice from you boys. So
It's a good question.
what do you?
You know what? Yeah, it's a question I get a lot.
Booty by the boys. This is
Yeah.
going to be
Booty by the boys, change it.
Yeah.
It's a question I've got a lot, even from mate. I've had a big bum for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Before I've trained, mate. So now
Yeah, okay.
It's just the way
Interesting.
it's the way I've been born, man. But
Implants then.
yeah, implants,
Yeah,
mate. But
yeah. That's the.
it's one of those things. It's like very good genetics is from me.
Yep.
Very lucky to have big legs, short legs.
Yeah.
In fact,
Short femurs.
short. Yeah, that's all it is, mate. Short and they're just thick.
Yeah.
But how would you say is the best way to train glutes? I would just say hip thrusts. That's probably my favourite
Yeah.
in terms of glutes. But even those sideline AB ductors,
Yeah, AB,
they're
yeah,
unreal,
there you
mate.
go, yeah.
Some sideline clams just to get yourself going. Step ups is really good. Heavy step ups, barbell step ups,
Yeah.
maybe. Also some reverse hypers. If we had a reverse hyper machine, that would be unreal. You can do that on a bench.
Should one playground get a reverse hyper?
I think one playground should get a
So-
full-on GHD.
Surry Hills.
Surry Hills.
James.
Yeah. MD.
If he's listening.
So yeah,
Can you imagine next week?
it comes in.
Yeah.
That would be so good. I thought there was one at the bunker, but there ain't.
They used to have a reverse hyper, like an Atlantis reverse hyper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do use reverse hyper if you lie on a bench.
Yeah.
And you just you hang your hips off.
Yeah.
You bring your knees in to flexion and you extend out and you
Yeah.
kind of squeeze your glutes. You can kind of add a band to that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way of doing it as well.
Yeah.
Walking lunges as well. Good one for
Yeah.
glutes.
Yeah.
But just lift heavy, mate.
Yeah.
Lift heavy squats.
Yeah.
Heavy hip thrusts.
Yeah.
The big compound lifts is what going to get you. And obviously you need to be in a calorie surplus.
Yeah. True.
Loads of protein.
Loads of protein, some carbs, eat for performance.
Yep.
The best one for me, the one that's probably made the biggest difference for me was just squatting. Like
Yeah, squatting, mate. That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah. I think if you squat properly, I think a lot of people don't squat as
Squat
efficiently.
to depth
Yeah.
and some pauses in there.
Yeah.
Stretch your glute.
Yeah, absolutely. Squat, and then for me, like a reverse lunge. That one,
Yep,
just like
Deficit?
Yeah, I do the deficit, but then the deficit just gives me more quad, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah,
in my
okay.
happy place, I'm just use more.
That's
quad.
what you like.
Yeah. Anything with more quad, like bench, use more quads. Lat pull down, use more quads. Just everything.
Probably drive your feet underneath you.
Yeah,
to get more
absolutely,
quads
mate.
for
I'm
the
trying
quad.
to get some quads into this now.
But I'd say, sorry, going back to that, I'll tell you what, the one I feel my glutes the most, just popped into my head, single leg RDL.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, right.
Just with a little bit of a soft bend in the knee.
Yeah.
Proper drive my hips in.
Yeah.
Feels good.
With
Single dumbbell or double dumbbell.
dumbbell,
Or a barbell.
the leg completely off the ground, the back leg?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Leg completely off the ground. I have actually done like a split stance.
Yep.
RDL. They're pretty good as well.
Yeah.
They're decent. I like them.
Yeah, nice. No, for me, probably I like the reverse hyper, or like a back extension is a good one.
Yeah.
I don't go to the hip thrust so much, just I hate the setup.
You know what? Yeah, it's probably something that I've only kind of worked out last year how to actually do.
Yeah, okay.
Properly. Even though I can show someone how to do it, and I'm like, feel your glutes? Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't do it.
Yeah.
How do I feel my glutes?
Yeah. I did it for a little bit last year while I was prepping for the powerlifting comp, because I was like, my sticking point, like I'll be fast out of the hole on a squat, and then I'd just get most of the weight and it stops.
Yeah.
Like it will just come to a dead stop.
Right at the top.
Yeah. And then so I was like, oh, okay, like get more glutes out of it, and I did the hip thrust, and it did nothing for me.
Yeah.
I didn't persist with it for a very long time.
To be
That
fair,
I-
I do it like once a blue moon, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
it. Done.
wait, to recap, genetics,
Genetics, mate.
squats.
Yeah. So yeah, what we got? We got genetics, we got squats, we got hip thrusts.
thrusts.
I reckon single leg RDL for me.
Yep.
Reverse hypers, back extensions, and then loads of food.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's it, mate.
Brought to you by the boys. We never need to answer.
We'll make an ebook of that, guys. For you.
Absolutely. Okay, what else have we got? We got another one. That was a question from Mel.
Mel,
My
yeah, thank you, Mel.
My girlfriend. I think it was probably more just that.
Take the piss.
Yeah. But we got some glutes, mate. So
yeah, Mel. No, there you go, Mel.
yeah. Thoughts on volume techniques, e.g., pyramids, pyramid sets, drop sets, and how to do safely.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
Pyramids I don't really use unless I do a pyramid in a CrossFit scenario, like a chipper. Is it called? Go up and up. I think it's a chipper, which is like basically where the reps get smaller every time.
Yep.
But pyramid I haven't really done for a muscular side. Drop sets I'll probably chuck it in there a few times with my clients.
Yep.
Just to kind of finish off a sesh.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to finish off.
Get some volume in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a pump.
Yeah, for myself.
Which is very important.
Yeah,
Getting a pump.
That's all they want really. It's just a nice pump.
Absolutely. Everybody feels better with a pump.
Yeah, and then they leave like they've done something,
Yeah.
or it's a little bit of a sweat,
Yeah. Oh, also, it's quite time effective for our clients as well. Like,
especially with the 40 minutes.
yeah, we'll train for like how many hours or how long do you train per day? Like an hour and a half. Yeah. So like you can, but if you're cutting that in half, like you'd be just rinse everything you
Right,
get.
we're doing triceps,
Do everything. I think pyramid sets are actually quite a good thing if you were to do like say like a 12, 10, 8, 6, good way to cut down some warm up time.
Yep.
And then just increase from there.
So you'd say the pyramid's good for warming up?
Yeah,
I've done that kind of style before for warming up.
Yeah, because like every now and then, if I program like 3 sets of 12 for a client or whatever, and then or like 3 sets of 8, and then it takes them a little bit too long to warm up, so I'll go cool, just go for 12 to 15 on this one, and then we'll drop down a little bit, and then down a little bit. It's just a little bit more time effective.
100%.
That's a good one, I think. Drop sets, same sort of thing. I think just adding them in on the back end of a workout, it's always good for biceps and triceps. Like
I'd say I'd always use them on the smaller muscles. Yeah, like finishing off a sesh. Obviously good for like muscular endurance and stuff like that, just to get you working a bit harder, a bit longer. And it just like promotes a bit of stress as well, on a bit of growth on there.
It's time effective, which
exactly.
If
you've not got a lot of time, chuck them in. 100%.
Yeah. There is it depends on which way you look at it. There's a bit of literature now saying that it can, in some cases, not be the most effective for building the most amount of muscle mass, but that's someone doing it. Not everybody doing a drop set is concerned with building the most amount of muscle mass. And like in the case of working with our clients, like it's like, oh, you got 5 minutes left and you want to get 2-3 sets of arms in, like smack it out.
Drop it out, mate.
Yeah, it's great. It's perfect. Because you might not grow the most amount of muscle mass. You're not going to grow the most amount of muscle mass anyway, but it's still going to be really effective for you to do and get some hard training in there.
For real. Have you ever done drop sets on squat? I have once, a long time ago. Don't do it. No. That's why you wouldn't do it anyway with the client, because it's just not safe.
Yeah.
Such. But I've done it on like a bench press.
Yeah.
Which I find quite effective.
Yeah.
On squats, I maybe done it when I first started training, I think, and you just can't walk after.
I did do it once, and I got an instant headache.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just not breathing like that.
Yeah, just like
it's too much. Too much pressure on you.
Too much. So I guess the safe way to do it, if you are going to do it, don't do it on your big exercises.
Yeah.
You would. Yeah, you definitely.
That would be the safe way.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it on a squat. You wouldn't do it. You might be able to do it on deadlift, but it'd be horrible.
And I think the easiest way, the most respectable way in the gym, is to just do it on a cable, because I've done it before, like on a bench press, for example, and I've dumbbell bench press, and I've just taken 20 different dumbbells, and I feel bad, like and then you got to finish.
I like a mechanical drop set. So if you were to do bench press, for instance, or a pressing exercise where you'll start at a higher incline, and then just move the incline down, move the incline down, move the incline down. So you'll go from the weakest position and then you'll just keep the weight pretty much the same. So you'll start high incline, closer to a shoulder press, and then as soon as you hit failure, drop the bench down a little bit to like a mid incline, go to failure, you get like 5 reps, and then drop the flat. Like that's kind of cool way to finish off if you've been doing like time efficient. You can just knock that out in a couple of minutes, and you'll get a good lot of reps in there that are effective.
100%. I've done that mechanical drop before with bent over row.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're in like the bent over row position, like not supported, and then you stand up slightly and you get a bit more like traps, rear delts.
Yeah.
Just rep it out.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Chin ups is another good one as well too. If you go pronated, so palms facing like a wider or something like that, then a little bit closer, then a neutral, then a supinated, and just like rinse your lats and arms. That's a good one to do.
Forearms.
Yeah, everything. That's probably a favorite one of mine. There was one down here. Oh no, I think it's why is Billy so sexy? Oh, that was
Who asked that?
That was you.
I don't know who asked that one.
Cool, man. What other questions have I got for you? So tell me a little bit. Who are the clients that you work with?
Currently, a lot of at the moment, I've actually got quite a few people who do amateur sports.
Cool,
especially in one playground because that's the kind of vibe I wanted to go for.
Yeah.
When you kind of start, you want to kind of fill up the diary and get to meet as many people as you possibly can. So I do have a lot of Gen Pop, so just people who want to get into the gym, not too bothered about kind of losing weight, gaining weight. They just want to move. Learn how to move and just move effectively and safely. Got a lot of those people, but then I've got a couple clients who do just amateur sports. I've got a badminton player. I've got someone who's getting back into netball.
Cool.
Got people who do long distance running.
Cool.
So they literally all they do every week is they just do like 100k, and then they're like, I don't know what else to do. So they want to get to get better at that, strengthen up. But I get a lot out of those people who do the amateur sports, just in sense of. How was badminton this week? Oh yeah, smashed it, won my game. Got a competition coming up. Oh sick. Let's make sure that we taper down for that, or we work towards that. Get you a little bit better in these positions and things like that. But yeah, that's what I like to work with people who kind of have a sport, not like a professional, not like a big up sports player. Maybe I'll get to that one stage.
Yeah.
But definitely like the amateur goers. Maybe they play football, soccer, or rugby, and they just want to get better and gain some strength and movement in their bodies. So like things like the plyos and just some like rotational stuff I think is great for those kind of people, and just having fun and train them in different ways as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun. Yeah, because you do. It's cool to see that you do the different, like you do a lot of the stuff that you do in your training with the clients as well too.
Yeah, try to stuff that I know they can do. Yeah. I'll chuck it in there, and then if they can progress to it, then definitely do it.
Yeah.
But I still do have the traditional push pull legs kind of vibe because they're still fun, still good to do.
Yeah. And also like in that instance of I've trained like quite a few athletes as well too. They still need a little bit more muscle mass. They need some a little bit more strength and all that sort of stuff, and it carries over from one to the other. I think oftentimes people can look at something and be like, oh well, they put functional stuff in one category, and I can't do functional stuff if I'm doing bodybuilding because bodybuilding is not functional. But anytime you're looking at bodybuilding, you look at the function of a muscle, and then you train that function of a muscle. So in its truest definition, it is functional.
Exactly.
Because your bicep curl is functional.
Yeah.
Like
functional training.
Yeah, absolutely. Like carrying stuff, heavy stuff, picking the stuff up off the ground, being able to jump, being able to run, being able to do all those sorts of things.
Every day, innit?
Yeah, that's the thing, mate. That's really cool.
Awesome.
So that'd be kind of like your ideal client, like amateur athletes.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Enjoy it. Like, Sunday league players.
Yeah.
Weekend players, or just like after work players. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
it, man. And it's fun to see progression even in small things like how they've competed or how it's been going.
Absolutely. Having things like activities like that outside of the gym are so valuable. Like to keep the fun element to being physically active. I think it's one of those things that you lose as you get older. Like a lot of people lose as you get older because you don't have school sport, you don't have whatever it is, and like then injury comes into it and it does stop you a little bit. But that's one thing. Like I used to ride bikes a lot as a kid, and getting back into like both BMX and motocross bikes, and I've just recently got back into mountain biking, and just to have something like that that's just like. If you're doing that, I'm sure it's like when you're playing soccer or something like that. Like when you're doing that, you know where else but playing soccer. When you're riding a bike, you know where else but doing that. Yeah. And I think, one, obviously you have that with your training in that it's a very enjoyable thing for you and you really, really love it. But still, it's like, it can't be as fun as playing a game kind of thing. or doing an activity like anything that's like a little bit more extreme where you just got to be on it, because otherwise if you're not, you know, you can't be focusing anywhere else.
No, 100%.
And so training to support the sport is a really, really cool thing.
So
Then
that's a funny thing to say.
support the sport. Yeah. It's probably not.
Powerful, mate.
Yeah.
Support the sport. Support the sport.
Support the sport. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool to do, and we should do more of that as adults because life's serious enough.
No, it's for real. I think everyone should at least do something once a week, sports related, even if it's go and play tennis with your mate or go and play that paddle game, which I've never played, but golf, darts. I love a bit.
Darts.
Never,
Do you play pool?
Pool, yeah. I play pool if I go to the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool one. I had a pool table in my dad's shed when we were growing up.
Yeah. We had one at my house as well.
Really
yeah.
Cool, mate. We'll have to have there's Strawberry Hills Hotel.
Oh, they got pool table in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get whipped up.
Right.
Bets are in.
Radio. I've already beat one English person 6-0 this year.
What, does the nationality matter?
Yeah.
Because his English is
I
terrible.
just
6-0?
Yeah.
Jesus, I ain't got that much money. Can't play that many times.
No money, just bragging rights, mate.
Yeah.
Just bragging rights.
That's crazy.
And then I'm talking myself up as a good pool player now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I beat Tom Merriman as well too.
Oh, yeah, he's Scottish, mate.
Well, he did not like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Competitive?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he told me, he was like, actually, this is the second time I spoke about it on the podcast.
Oh, did you speak about it?
Yeah, in the last one. Yeah, he's gonna not be happy.
You love this story, that's why. It's the best one.
Well, he was telling me how good he was, and then I beat him.
Yeah.
And
He's not lived it down.
no.
That's why he comes to the gym to stay you out in the mornings.
Yeah.
And you're never in. He's like, where is he? He's got a pool cue waiting for you. He'll slap you with it.
Anyway, Friday, mate, we'll be down.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
That's a deal, mate. That's a deal.
don't
We need
know-
to find a dartboard as well, actually.
True. Yeah.
I tell you what.
I'm going to start training for it because I don't want that
You
Dom's
don't
in
want
my
no
elbow.
darts elbow again,
Yeah,
mate.
nah.
But I would tell you what. We should do some sport darts related movements in the gym. We'll get the
You could definitely do
we'll get
some
the,
fly-
but we can get the cable out, but it'll look a bit dodgy, mate. You know, with like that. Or we'll do some pull ones as well. Like that. We're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Training for darts, mate. Training for darts.
Serious business.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
We should have a dartboard at the gym just in between sessions. That'd be fun.
Ah, mate, I asked because I came back from the UK after Christmas and I've been playing a lot of darts because the darts was on the World Championships over Christmas, and my dad loves it anyway. Watched it all the time. We play it all the time, and anyway, it was a proper big year because you see the 16-year-old won it. Oh, came second. Luke Littler, 16 years old, got to the final.
Yeah.
Youngest kid ever to get to it. So it was all obviously everyone was loving it. It's called Luke Littler. It's Luke Littler effects. Everyone was playing darts. And stuff.
Yeah. That's
But anyway,
it.
we was playing it a lot, and then drinking loads of Guinness. Love Guinness now, mate. So my task is I've come back. This is like my New Year's resolution to find the best Guinness in Sydney and find a Sydney pub with a darts board, mate. So I haven't been to it yet, but there's one. I think it's called the Lord Dudley or something hotel,
Dudley.
and it apparently has good Guinness and a darts board. So I need to double up, mate.
Where is it at?
Oh, somewhere in the city, I think.
Yeah, right.
I need to go find it. I've saved it on my Google Maps. I've got a Google Maps, different categories. Guinness, got about 10 pubs in there. And darts boards, it's got five pubs.
That's great.
Unbelievable.
There wouldn't be many pubs with dartboards.
Mate, there ain't. I had to Google it.
Yeah.
It's about 5.
Yeah, right. Because
In this area, anyway.
there's not many with pool tables either.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
an English thing to have a pool table.
Yeah.
And if it don't have a pool table, it's usually a rubbish pub. You
Yeah.
usually don't go in there like that.
Yeah. It's weird. It's great. I love playing pool.
Yeah, I don't know why, though. It's Australian. It's not really like pubs here. There's some like Irish pubs,
Yeah.
but then the hotels, isn't they? And they just got like the betting place in.
Yeah,
that's
a
what
big,
it's a bit. It's a lot of betting, the TAB.
Yeah, that is a big thing here.
Yeah. I've actually got a question for you.
Yeah,
moving on
sure.
from that.
Yeah.
It's about your squats.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, how come you squat so narrow?
So narrow.
Yeah.
It just feels most comfortable there.
Yeah.
If I move, that feels where I squat. Doesn't feel narrow, but if I was to go like a centimeter out, it would feel like I'd
Too
be in
wide.
sumo.
Because even when you were doing the skier, I guess it's narrow.
Yeah.
It's like that's your comfy position.
Yeah, it feels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just always. That's where I feel I get best leverage on it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've just always done it like that, and then anything wider just feels real weird. The only thing that I'll do wider will be my catch for a snatch or a clean and like a squat jerk. When I used to do that, I used to get pretty wide.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you'd think you would want to be in that position all the time.
Yeah, but I think for that, it's it was, yeah, I don't know why that
Yeah.
is. It
So I
just,
think mine's a little bit narrower, but even so, I start a lot. I mean, wider. I start narrower
yeah,
before I then go to my catch for a clean or snatch.
yeah,
But yeah, I just wondered because I used to squat that narrow.
yeah,
But obviously, you can lift heavy in that. I only used to be able to get 140.
yeah, okay,
And I used to be like, what's going on?
yeah,
And
okay,
I filmed it and I was like, why am I so narrow?
Yeah, okay.
You know, you don't notice it until
Yeah.
you film it. Then I moved and I was like, yeah, I can get a lot more power out the hole.
interesting.
Maybe it's just the way you're built, mate.
Yeah, I don't
Built
know.
different.
I think there could be something potentially to do with everybody's hip structure is going to be slightly different. So going like wider might then, because I guess it is somewhat close, but I don't actually have much hip flexion straight on. So if I do if I was to do like a leg lift straight, or even just pull my knee to my chest dead on, I run out of room in my hip socket.
All right.
And it would, I could do the splits easier with a side splits before I could ever do a front splits. And I just thought,
Can you do side splits?
yeah. It used to
didn't
be,
see
my.
I can do the forward and back.
Yeah,
I
see,
can't do the side.
so it must be something, I don't know,
Must be with your hip.
something to do
stuck
with that.
in there.
Yeah, I just have something to do with my hip socket. It just doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then when I catch on, when I was doing weightlifting, I would get not super wide on the,
But just a little bit.
a little bit wide, and I could get nearly my ass hit the floor and stuff
Yeah,
like
super.
that.
That's mad.
But yeah, it just that's how I feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
Matt Duncan tried to tell me to
Go wider.
go on the deadlift. He was like, "Oh, you probably should do sumo." I was like, "I can't do that."
No.
And then I saw you doing sumo the other day, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I will." No.
That was more for glutes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
do sumo. I hate
Yeah.
sumo.
Fair. That's what I thought.
Nah. But it felt good. There was a nice little glute pump to be
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just where I feel
comfy.
more comfy. And I've squatted. Yeah, my heaviest
Heaviest with it.
Heaviest there.
So it works for you, innit? It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll have to run to the toilet.
Yeah, sure. Oh, how are we doing for time?
Hour and 2.
Cool. Oh, you got to pull the foam thing out there.
God damn.
Yeah. Don't knock the camera over. Now I'm just going to talk shit about you while you're gone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, I guess we just lost Billy there. So hopefully he'll be back soon, or he might have. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But we've got a new setup today, so we're hopefully the last the last video everybody might have noticed that the sound was a little bit off on my mic, but today we've got the mics running pretty good. We've actually even got some sound effects. Look at that. There's I'll play that when Billy comes back. A little drum roll, crickets. Maybe I'll play that when he comes back. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So the podcast, I guess, will be on. It's a podcast now. Last week I said it was a YouTube video, but I guess we're going to be on a podcast at some point on Spotify, and we'll have all the special sound effects soon enough. And we'll go there, mate. You're going to get some. I was just been playing around with the setup, mate.
The sound. Do you reckon they go through?
Hopefully, I think so. When you put your headphones on, I just told the guys at home what I'm going to play.
That's a soundtrack that comes on when I go toilet. When I get it out. Oh,
this one.
yeah. You have to get some people telling some jokes, mate, and
Then just just
Some funny
anytime anybody talks. One was like the you would have heard the what's his name? One that I thought went on here before. BBC Radio, Charlie Sloth.
Yep.
What's the
Oh,
glass
mate.
breaking?
And welcome to Ultimate Strength Conversations. It's me. Stop it. I'm trying to think of that sound. That goes on for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was not going to stop then.
It's like a background of Friends, isn't it? Laughing.
fun.
We're here. Thank you very much. Don't worry about it. We'll be back next week.
This is good fun, mate.
That was good fun.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the... Oh, it's in loads of songs as well, what Charlie Sloth does. I'm being a bad Brit here, not knowing that. Jesus.
Well, while we're on the topic of that, mate, what's your favourite music? Just random one.
Favourite music? Currently I've been listening to a lot of drum and bass.
Drum and bass.
A bit of Skrillex.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of Fred again.
Yep.
Chasing Status.
Yep.
Been liking those kind of vibes.
Yep.
And I do enjoy grime as
Yep.
well. So a bit of Skepta, JME,
Yep.
Gigs.
Yep.
I like to listen to that during at the gym.
Yeah, cool.
Getting a pump on, mate.
Yeah.
Some aggressive stuff.
Yeah. The amount of grime that I listened to significantly increased when I started hanging around Rob Nee.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just
He got me into
English thing, mate.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. Mine, my favourite would be Bugsy Malone is my favourite.
Yep, Bugsy Malone.
He's
Yeah.
not super grime though.
He's got a lot of storytelling as well.
Yeah.
I like him. He's good in the film The Gentleman.
Yeah,
Seen that?
yeah.
He's good in that.
That's probably one of the better movies ever made.
Oh, mate, it's probably up there.
Yeah.
My favourite's Toy Story, but yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
What's
That
yours?
was Toy Story. Would have been Toy Story as a kid. I used to get around Mighty Ducks as well too.
Mighty Ducks. I might have seen it once. I don't really remember. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've remember it.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah.
But the Toy Stories, they were
Top tier, mate.
yeah.
Top tier, mate. Toy Stories, yeah. 1, 2, and 3.
And 3.
Was
there a
four?
4?
There's a 4, mate. There's a 5 coming out as well. Can you believe it?
Yeah, right.
Apparently. But yeah, I can't remember what. But my favourite thing ever on TV is The Walking Dead.
Right.
Mate, I've cried at that a few times.
Cried?
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've not.
I'll tell you what, it's 11 seasons, but it's worth it. Watch the first 7, all right? Then you'll be interested.
Right. Right.
Nah,
We'll turn this into just a Walking Dead podcast.
Oh, mate, I love The Walking Dead. I'm a bit nerdy. I've got the comics.
Yeah.
I've got some figurines at home.
Yeah, okay. What
Collected
kind?
them. So of the characters.
Yeah,
like
okay.
10 inches.
Oh, of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, it's a great show, mate.
Yeah.
Unreal show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it if you never watched it.
I get around that sort of zombie apocalypse vibe.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favourite movies was...
It's actually why I train, so I can escape zombies.
Yeah. I got around The Last of Us.
That's good.
That was good.
Good. Not as good as Walking Dead, but it's good. Nah, different vibe, though.
Different
Different
vibe,
story.
yeah,
And the zombies are different. They're crazy. on that.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be a really good game. I've never played it, but my brother has played
I
that.
started playing it in lockdown 2021. One of my clients got me onto it. It was like, mate,
Gotta play it.
if it kicks off, you got to know what's going to go on. Like, it's going to happen. So that was a good one. And then I liked I Am Legend for that same
Yep.
sort of vibe.
Yep.
I might have to try The Walking Dead.
Mate, you got to try it. The Thirst.
It seems like every time I get on TV, like go on the TV, there's a new season of The Walking Dead spin-off or something.
11 seasons, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4 spin-offs.
Right.
From the top of my head.
Yeah, right.
One of the spin-offs is absolutely terrible. I've watched like 3 episodes, didn't
Yeah.
watch it again.
Yeah.
That's called Beyond the Walking. I'm a bit of a nerd for this. Man. It's
Yeah,
called
okay.
Beyond the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
There's Fear the Walking Dead. There's about 7 seasons of that, which I've watched all. This is
Yeah.
not this average.
Yeah.
Then there's a new one with 2 of the characters from the main one, which is decent. Cool.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called. And then there's the Daryl Dixon one, which is one of the characters,
Right.
which is a new one as well. So it's a bit crazy. And then there's another one coming out
Right.
in next year. No, maybe this year.
So next pandemic, mate, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
You're
Man.
ready to go.
As long as the zombies are like the Walking Dead.
Yes.
Slow when they walk. They ain't like I Am Legend and them crazy
Yeah,
ones.
no, those zombies were not good.
You know what? I would just die, mate.
Yeah.
I'll become one of them. Might as well. Can't beat them, join them, mate. They're crazy.
Imagine that.
No, but The Last of Us is more kind of realistic because it's just about. What is it? It's just about like a bacteria, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just takes
mushrooms.
over. Yeah, it just takes over
Yeah,
the
I've
world.
never eaten mushrooms again.
Nah.
No.
Apart from if you want a good experience.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Then you'll take a couple.
Yeah. Okay, we'll probably have to wrap up soon, mate. We'll get a couple more questions.
Yep.
The most important is what's the go with the black shoes and white socks? What are you doing?
You know what? Yeah,
It's
mate.
been a big topic of
Thi-
conversation.
This
at the gym.
this has to be an Australian thing, mate, because in the UK, someone said, I think it was Jackie, she goes, it's like you're in school, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But in school, I never wore white socks. I wore black socks.
Right, okay.
So I don't.
So you're cool now doing the white socks and black shoes because
yeah.
you didn't do that at
But the
school.
thing is, it's a thing. It's never been that's unfashionable to have white socks, black shoes.
Right.
It might be because my shoes are all black.
Yeah. And
If it had like a bit of colour in it and I was wearing white socks, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Because my shoes are all black, maybe it stands out a bit.
Yeah.
But then I don't understand you can wear white shoes and black socks. That does not make sense to me. That is even worse. That's even worse than wearing white socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you can agree with that.
I think that goes more than black shoes, white socks.
That makes sense to me, mate. It's just the opposite.
But I don't think it is an Australian thing because Rob was on you about it as well too. But he's from Cornwall, so it might be a little bit different.
Was he?
Yeah.
Maybe he was. I don't remember.
Well, he asked specifically for that question today. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I thought he was just trying to get me to argue his case as well. But even Ned, he's Australian. He was wearing black shoes, white socks.
Yeah, but Ned's from a town of about 30 people, so
Yeah, true.
he's,
And he looks like the Tiger King.
He does a little bit too. He does a little bit. He's from the countryside,
He's
mate,
probably
where
got a
that
few-
stuff
Probably got a few
happens.
tigers hiding around there. Hasn't he? But yeah, mate. No, I don't know. I'm not arguing anymore. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Be myself.
Just-
You know what? Never let anyone tell you
Yeah.
any different, mate. Be
Has
yourself.
Jose said anything to you about it?
Nah.
Oh, so he used to get on my case all the time and then I got real paranoid about, not real paranoid, but I'll be like, I can't do this. Like,
Yeah.
Jose's going to get on my case.
He's gonna beat you up.
Yeah.
He's gonna get you.
But then I went, I just went like the happy socks, like the real silly socks. So like just different different patterns and stuff on them. So
Done that for a while.
they never would match.
Yeah.
Now I just go black socks, black shoes, white socks, white shoes.
I went for that vibe as well. You know, the colourful socks.
Yeah.
At home in the UK, I've got about I don't know how many pairs, but they're all different.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
used to have. I bought a load of Nike socks, and they were all purple, red, blue,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just used to wear a purple and a green, a fucking
Gosh, you
orange
did,
and a blue.
Did you do the same thing with like Metcons or Nanos or something?
I've actually got a pair of Metcons that are different colours.
Yeah.
They
right.
are
Which one
the
are
Noah Olsen ones.
they? Yeah, right.
They're like the sixes, and they're
Yeah.
like bluey red, and then the other one's like completely different colour. They're like different patterns. And everything.
Yeah,
But they're
right.
cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
I like them.
I get around. Did you just have one pair of Metcons or did you get around a heap of them?
I've had the Metcon threes, I think, or the fours, 3 or the 4s. I've had the Metcon 6s. I've had the 7s. I've tried the Reebok Nanos.
Yeah.
Then I jumped on the Rads.
Yeah.
And Rads are the best ones,
Yeah. Okay.
I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right.
I think the Nanos are probably second best, but they just don't look as nice as Metcons, I reckon.
Yeah.
But Metcons are the most uncomfortable,
Really?
I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of everything, if you want to do like CrossFit,
True, yeah,
bit of
yeah.
running,
Yeah.
maybe, squatting,
Yeah.
I would say the Rads are the best for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And what do you like?
I went through a stage where I thought the Metcon was like they perfected the shoe, and I was like, that's the shoe that I'll wear. So I had I think I had like 7 pairs of the 4s.
The
threes.
4s are the best ones, I think.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the same one, my 4s, I've still got them. They're
Yeah.
beaten, but
Yeah.
they're probably my favourite.
They come out with the one that had I had like a snow camo one,
I think. How long ago did these come out?
probably 2018.
Okay. Snow, I don't remember that one. But are they like, I can't even explain.
Like the
what they're called.
wider toe box on them. They were like a little bit. Have a look.
Yeah, night. Hey, Jeff, get
Yeah,
up for us,
yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Get the picture on the
Yeah.
screen.
Well, I could do that here, but I don't know what's going to come up. We had some technical difficulties beforehand, so I'm not going to touch anything.
Yeah, well, I can never find. Oh, they actually kind of look like this. But they look like this actually. These are the ones. The Metcon Freeze. They're like that.
Yeah, that's
They're
exactly
the best
yeah,
ones, the
threes,
best
yeah,
ones.
Yeah.
That's the pair I've got, and they're my favourite ones, mate. But obviously, over time,
They just get beat up. Yeah.
beat up. But I could still wear them now. But mine are like white, blue, and like I've got like a red burgundy bottom.
Yep. Yeah.
Proper
yeah.
nice, mate.
Yeah,
They're
I know.
my first ever
Yeah.
fitness shoe.
Yeah, I know the ones. Yeah, those are. I bought a heap of those. I've got. There was the chalkboard ones,
Yeah.
the whiteboard ones. I think I got. I didn't get any Matt Fraser ones. Got a few different colours of those, and then I went when the Metcon went from that to like they changed it to
Like
like
the thick,
yeah
the 6s. I think.
yeah. I moved from that to then the Reebok Nanos.
Yeah.
Because then the Nanos come out and they were like kind of like an old school sneaker style vibe.
Yeah. Do you have them ones now?
Yeah, yeah. I wear them every now and
Like
then.
these are the ones I've got. See the different colours?
Yeah.
They're the thick ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are probably the most uncomfortable. No.
Yeah.
They're comfy, but they're just so. I couldn't wear them out walking. I had to take
Yeah.
them off and switch shoes,
Yeah.
and only wear them in the gym.
Which, yeah, is not
It's not
that
what you
great
want.
for a CrossFit shoe when
Yeah.
you should be able to do anything in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Metcons are pretty cool.
You should definitely get a pair of Rads though if you ever get a chance.
Yeah, okay.
But-
What's good about them?
They're just versatile. I've run 5K in them before.
Yeah.
And you can do squatting in them. They're flat. They're
Yeah.
comfy. But they do kind of. They're similar to Nikes, where Nikes ain't built very well.
Yeah.
I think they're built better than Nikes, but they kind of like the inside kind of rubs down a little bit.
Yeah.
They sometimes rip a little bit on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're comfy though.
And then you get stickers with them too, don't you? You got
Yeah.
the sticker. That's a big selling
It was
point.
it was on my bottle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My big one. But then my bottle, the stickers come off because the bottle.
Ah.
I don't know how you've kept that so clean with the stickers.
In terms of like putting them on there like that?
Yeah, and don't water drip down and ruin it.
No, I guess they're quite good, mate. They're good stickers. They're mine.
Yeah, them ones obviously they're good. They're
Yeah,
yours.
of course. They're top quality, mate.
No, but to be fair, I'm probably lazy. I just put it under the water and just drip it all down the bottle and just put it to the side, and it just ruins the
Yeah.
stickers.
Well, this is actually the I think they're potentially a little bit thicker sticker as
Yeah,
well.
probably better.
That's actually like the third one of those bottles that I've had.
They look good actually.
Yeah, they're cool. Someone stole 2 of them.
Oh, stole yours? Yeah,
Yeah.
they liked it, mate. They wanted the stickers.
Why are you stealing someone's bottle?
It's weird, mate. To be fair, when I first started One Playground, I had a package.
Yeah,
One Playground socks,
yeah,
sweat towel,
yeah.
a couple other things. It got stolen out the locker room. Couldn't believe it. So someone's running around with One Playground socks. It's probably one of the people outside. Come in, socks.
You know, one of the best things is out there. Someone's taken the piss and given their old uniforms to like the Goodwill place across
What, One Playground? No way.
the fitness playground ones.
No way. Someone wearing it, rolling around.
So
They just come in and train someone, didn't they?
every now and then, mate, you'll see someone just off their tree, just wander around in the fitness.
They'll be like, have they employed him?
Yeah, genuinely. Like you'll see it at some point. You know the old branding, the FP.
Yeah.
You'll
Some people still wear it.
Yeah. You'll see it at some point and just spin out like
Someone just wearing it.
absolute.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna go. Oh, I lost my stuff and give it to a homeless guy. But I've done it. Well, I've done it before, where I've had a football or soccer, jacket with my initials on it.
Yeah.
Given it. My mum must have given it to a charity, and then some fella's wearing it. And the next one, I'm like driving. I'm just BT. That's mine. He's just wearing my stuff.
Oh, that's great. Let's do a couple more minutes, mate. What someone wanting to get into shape for their weekend sport?
Yep.
What are some common mistakes you see, or what are some things that people can do apart from contact you and pay you a heap of money?
Yeah.
Do that.
Is this coming to me, or this could be anyone?
Just anyone.
Yeah,
like
anyone.
if like just out there, someone's like, cool, I want to improve my sport.
Yeah, I would say get yourself a program. So definitely contact me.
Contact
Even though
Billy.
don't contact me.
Yeah.
Definitely
At Billy PT, isn't it?
PT Billy.
At PT Billy.
Formerly
on Insta.
Billy Thornhill Fitness, but it was a bit too long. So PT Billy, I think, is a
PT
bit.
Billy. I like it.
Is a bit more. No, PT Billy T. I'm sorry.
PT Billy T.
Nah, it makes more sense.
Yeah. I'll
PT BT.
put it in the.
Thank you, mate.
I won't put it on the screen. There's going to be very little editing, but I'll put it in the.
Yeah,
the
PT Billy T
description.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely get yourself a program, something
Yep.
that you can follow, something that has some kind of progressions in there, some phases. But definitely just if you're looking to get a sport, kind of think about the movements that you do in that sport, whether it's going to be rotation, single leg stuff, bit of core stability in there as well. Just really focus on the foundation, squats. I probably wouldn't chuck. Would you chuck deadlifts in something like that for someone simple? I'd say squats is probably more
Yeah,
doable for more
maybe
people.
like a trap bar deadlift or
Yeah,
something
definitely,
like
definitely some kind of lift from the ground or carry.
that.
And then just getting into some single leg work, so some Bulgarians, maybe some pistol squats onto a box, and definitely some simple plyometrics like
Yep.
some light tier leaps, so two-legged pogos that people say,
Yep.
or some single leg hops.
Yep.
It's definitely a good one to add in there, just simple. So yeah, some leaps or pogos, some single leg leaps or pogos. Squats, some kind of lift from the ground, maybe a trap bar deadlift, definitely some carries. And I would probably start getting myself, if I was starting from fresh or telling someone fresh, to getting myself probably in some bodyweight stuff.
Yep.
So maybe some pull-ups,
Mm-hmm.
some dips,
Mm-hmm.
then just some simple core stuff, man. Some stability, side planks. Easy to start off, get yourself into it. But overall, just get yourself a good program with some phasing and some progressions in there, progressive overload. And yeah, just contact me or Matt.
Yeah, that's it. Go to Billy. If someone was to do all those things and they're going to play, let's say they got 1 or 2 team training sessions and they've got a game on the weekend.
Yep.
How many times do you reckon ideally they would be in the gym per week?
So they've got 2 training sessions with their sport,
Yep.
plus one what?
One game.
One game?
Yeah.
I'd probably say 1 or 2.
Yep.
If it was specific to what their sport is, because I assume in the training they're focusing more on the skill of the sport and maybe a little bit of cardio in the pre-season training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So depending on how their training is, if it's more skill-based, then I'd probably give them 1 or 2 sessions in the gym, whether that's just 40 minutes, not even that long, maybe focusing either on the cardio if they're not doing that, obviously some strength training, or just some kind of movement mobility style that they're kind of getting their active recovery involved, which you can't miss out. But yeah, probably 1 or 2, I'd say.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot for the average person, if they're not training a whole lot and they're playing sport. It doesn't take a whole lot to actually improve, and it's a good, even if it's not the thing that you enjoy the most, it's somewhat of a insurance to know that you're limiting the potential to get hurt.
Yep.
There's always potential to get hurt, like whether doing anything. We could roll our ankle as we walk out the door, whatever it might be. If you're playing a sport, if there's some contact in there, you're going to be more likely to get hurt. So you might as well, hour and a half per week on top of it. Everybody's got that time. Have a look at your Netflix time and your Instagram time. You've got time for it.
Check your phone hours, man.
Yeah. And getting in there and doing that is just, it's going to pay dividends as you go. And then to be able to do things long term, like you said, those things are more controllable than the sport ever will be. And I think playing sport is going to be excellent, but then having that element of it's in the gym, it's more controllable. You can control the stimulus, you can control the loading and all that sort of stuff. Whereas your sport's going to be by nature unpredictable. So it's good to be active, but you can't get stronger doing that and you can't progress doing that.
Yep.
So I think that's definitely, and it doesn't need to be a whole lot. You don't need to train 5 times a week for an hour.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's
why even if you are doing a sport and you're at that age, like say you're coming up to 22s, 25, coming a bit older, just that 1 extra time in the gym, just to build on that strength, all those weakness areas that you're not focusing on in training. Yeah, it's just all you need. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's gonna be good.
And that's why it is also beneficial to pay a coach to do it for you, because then they will highlight the weaknesses that you might have, or someone like yourself who's done a lot of training and then played sport, you can see from a different lens.
Yeah, and what really matters.
Yeah, what really matters and where you should be, because if you were to go into the gym and just do bicep curls and lateral raise, but you play soccer, it's not going to be the worst thing for you, but the plyos and a little bit of cardio and a little bit of split squats and those things are going to make a bigger difference than
100%.
Just having jacked arms. Jacked arms is really important.
Yeah, good for throw-ins.
Yeah, that's it. Get that those cable overhead extensions.
That's it.
But yeah, cool. We might wrap it up there, mate. That was good.
Beautiful, mate.
I had a good fun.
I had good fun as well, man. I'm looking forward to coming on the next one.
Absolutely, mate. Hopefully we don't have a hour-long ordeal with setting up.
We'll be getting it on.
Yeah,
just a 2-hour chat.
Anyway,
no.
Thanks to the crowd for listening.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's fill it up there.
Cheers, guys.
Mate, that was good.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful.
That's trippy with the headphones on.
Yeah, man. I feel weird now.